Hi cookies! So I was in the frozen foods section of the grocery store and I saw Hungry Man Dinner, which inspired this recipe tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make a super savory Salisbury steak with an onion and mushroom gravy. Very easy to make. This is a hungry man's meal for real, and it's not frozen, it's all homemade. So let's get the cooking. Alright, so I have about 2 pounds of ground chuck. You can use ground turkey if you like, if you're out for red meat. And we're gonna season it. You know, I have a list of ingredients. The full recipe is in the link. Check that description box. But I'm just using some Cajun spice, of course, some onion and garlic powder eventually whenever I can get rid of this Cajun spice stuff. But some onion and garlic powder, there we go, some accent, you know, some good stuff. Some people use onion soup mix. You can, or you can use diced onions. I don't like using that in my Salisbury steak. I just use the onion powder, but if you want to add that, go ahead. Okay, now it's time for this stuff. Y'all know I can't pronounce it. Look, I got my little friend here. Let's see if he can help me.
Worcestershire sauce.
What?
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. Did I do it? Did I do it, y'all? Worcestershire, whatever. Y'all see it. The struggle is so real. Okay, now I'm going to use some breadcrumbs. I only have panko. It doesn't matter. Panko regular is fine. Throw that in there. And now a splash of water, literally like a little splash. That's a little bit more than a splash, but last but not least, 1 egg. And once we drop that bad boy in there, it's time to get dirty and mix this meat up well. And we're going to mold them into your best oval shape. Mine sucked, but you can do better than Coop. So just mold them in an oval shape the best you can. Don't you know, if you can't, just make a regular hamburger patty. Don't nobody care. Nobody cares. It works. And there you have it. I have like 4 patties here because that's all that would fit on a plate. The other ones are chilling out on the side. But let's get ready to head on to the stove. Alright, you know I'm using my cast iron skillet, but you don't have to use your cast iron skillet. You can use any skillet you want. And it's all shiny and nice looking because I just seasoned it. But I have it set on like a medium high heat. And we're adding in those patties. We're not going to cook them all the way right now. We just want to get a nice sear on both sides. So I'm only going to cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes per side. Make sure you give them some space to breathe. Don't crowd them so they can cook evenly. They like room, space, and opportunity. Look at that smoke. Okay. After about 5 minutes, I flipped it over. The struggle was real, of course. Just flip them over and do the same thing on the other side, but only for about 3 or 4 minutes. It won't take as long. Alright, now that they're seared on both sides, we're going to remove them from the pan and put them on a plate. Put them to the side. And we're also going to remove some of the fat from the pan. Going to leave the drippings, but a lot of that fat needs to be taken out. We don't want that in our gravy. Okay, let's work on our gravy. Throwing in a little bit of butter. And we're going to add in some sliced onions and our sliced mushrooms. Now, if you're not a fan of mushrooms, of course you can leave them out if you're allergic or what have you. But if you don't mind mushrooms, I recommend that you throw them in there. I'm not a big fan of mushrooms at all, but I love them in this gravy with the Salisbury steak. It's really, really good. So try it, boo. Don't be scared. Step out your little comfort zone. Little mushroom ain't gonna hurt you if you're not allergic. Okay? Try it out. Now just sprinkling on a little bit of salt to release the moisture, and we're gonna let these saute for about 5 to 7 minutes. Alright, now at this point we're going to add a little bit of minced garlic. You know my rule, don't burn my garlic, just a little bit. Gotta have that garlic flavor, and move that stuff around for a few seconds. Don't burn the garlic. Let's get the gravy started. Gonna add in some flour. Of course, don't worry, that link in the description box will have the measurements. And I'm using all-purpose flour. You can use self-rising flour, it doesn't matter, just some flour, child. And mix it around until you can see no more flour. Okay, now we're gonna add in some beef broth. Almost done, guys. Stir that in. Once we bring that up to a simmer, we're gonna add our meat back in. Leave that heat at a medium heat. We're gonna put the meat back in there and then allow it to continue to simmer for about 15 minutes until the meat is completely done. And after that gravy thickens and the meat is completely cooked through, it's time to serve this stuff. Let's eat. And there you have it, guys, our Salisbury steak with an onion and mushroom gravy. I served it over some mashed potatoes. If you want to know how I make my mashed potatoes, I'll link that video in the description box as well. I also served it with some broccoli that was cooking while I was filming this, so we had some broccoli with this as well. It's good with peas or green beans. Just make sure you have something green on your plate. Alright babes, that is it. You know, the full recipe, ingredients, measurements, all of that is on my blog. I'll link it in the description box as usual. Thank you so very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another recipe. Thanks guys, see you next time. Be blessed.